A group of people wanted to belong. The door of a door, a legacy that has been passed along. And so these families began to build their dream, the sacred Jewish home of Chanutzim.
Guided by our past, we learn and teach and grow our tree of life, Tikkun Olam. We're not afraid to stand for what is right, planting the seeds to build a strong identity, loving kindness, justice, and community. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, a shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai, growing together, Sinai, found my connection. We're more than a congregation, we're a family. Standing here today, we know the journey's only just begun. Anive Atah, we build our future here with everyone. Join us to celebrate what's been and what will be. Together we'll make Jewish memories. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, a shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai,
Shabbat Shalom, Hag Sameach. You will see, you already see that our Bima is still decorated as we are in the holiday of Sukkot. We're coming to the end of Sukkot. It has been a busy week. Lots and lots of people in our Sukkah, which has been really wonderful. A reminder that we are a community and we come together and celebrate and share even virtually. We are going to begin singing a song, no surprise, for Sukkot, that actually comes from our Shabbat liturgy, where we ask God to spread over us the Sukkah Shalom, a sukkah of peace. It comes from the Hashkivenu prayer later in our service.
Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukkah shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukkah shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim Baruch atah Adonai Aporeh Sukat Shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all of God's people, Israel, and over Jerusalem. Adonai, you abide, though all things change. I am anxious and fearful, and I turn my heart to you, looking to you and leaning on your strength. It is written, blessed is the one whose strength is in you. Bless me now with faith and courage. Help me to feel that you are with me, steadying and sustaining me with the assurance that I am loved. Be with me and bring me hope that in the days to come, my aspirations will be fulfilled for my good and the good of those I love who depend on me. Banish my fears with the sense that you are always present to uphold and sustain me, as it is written, have no fear, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with the power of my righteousness. Amen. Page 131, Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, sing unto God the new song.
Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadas. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadas. Sing unto God all the earth, and your song I will sing unto God and your song. Sing unto God and we all sing along. All the earth and your song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadas. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadas.
Middle of page 137. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo shalom. Adonai, bestow strength upon our people. Bless our people with peace.
Adonai oz le'amo ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו. ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו. בשלום
welcome Shabbat as we welcome a bride. Lecha Dodi, page 138.
Lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela.
Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferech v'litila.
Lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Dikrat Shabbat לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, לראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לה 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 לה. lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela.
Hitoreri, kiva orech kumi uri uri uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nikla.
Lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela.
Rise, we turn to the door, we welcome the Shabbat bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי העלה, בואי העלה. lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. lecha lecha dodi, dikrat dikrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 140, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, a song for the Sabbath day.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלינה ולעלי היגיון בחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן, מגלות ביום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Begin Shabbat with the setting of the sun, and that light that comes from outside is replaced by a greater light, a light that is inside of us. And we acknowledge that light by lighting our Shabbat candles.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Page 146.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Together. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la. If you're able to, please rise. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed.
Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai amari v'aravi.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, We will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevon Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
May be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech v'shokbecha u'v'kumecha u'kashartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'katavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'vishadecha Leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim l'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem l'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem, amen.
A lot of talking this week, a lot of talking. Page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora te'ilot Osef elem. Nora te'ilot Osef elem. Mi hamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Mi hamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. ונאמר כפרנה את יעקב, וגיל ימך חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני העל ישראל.
And so we are going to sing today, as we did at the beginning of the service, a very special melody connected to the Hag, to Sukkot, which is the ending phrase, phrase for the prayer Hashkiveinu. And this is a different musical setting. And not only is this appropriate because of the holiday of Sukkot, but also because this particular melody was written by my colleague and friend Zev Malvarchier, the person who is coming as a guest next Friday for our Argentinian-style Shabbat. Zev Malvarchier, as you know, after having a deep conversation with him and all the music that he has written, he is kind of the Debbie Friedman version of the Argentinian jury in terms of how prolific he is and he was in terms of creating so many musical settings for liturgy. And this is one of them, and this is sung everywhere. Actually, he told me when we had the conversation that this piece, he went once in Japan, in congregation, and this was sung in the congregation in Japan. So, you know, that's how music travels, and I'm looking forward to welcoming him next Friday for this special Shabbat. So in honor of this and of him, let's sing together Ufros Aleinu. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads your canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Apores Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, Al Yerushalayim, Amen. Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha. Baruch Atah Adonai, Haporeh Sukkot Shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
How many times have we sung that melody? And I never knew
Say that again.
the composer is going to be here.
Next week.
We sing it a lot.
I know.
I had no idea.
Yeah. This is, it is interesting.
As always, Cantor Norman elevates our Jewish musical IQ. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat in every generation as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the eternal God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from labor and rested.
Yay, lay, 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 lay. Yay, lay, 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 lay. Yay, lay, 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 lay. Yay, lay, 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 lay. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. והנה ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
Shabbat va'i nafash. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
We come to the central part of our liturgy, Amidah, page 164. We invite the congregation to rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid ilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rebekah, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei HaKol, Ve'Sofer Chasdei Avot ve'Imaot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור עולם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה רב להושיע, מורין הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חורים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומתרומם לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Seated. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festivals. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day. For God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Satisfy us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant us as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies it, sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat.
Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you. In this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence.
Baruch atah Adonai, shotcha levatcha, Beira navod, modim anachnu lach.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimecha, Ulechadnai Lechodot. Shalom Bra'ah al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech Adon, echol hashalom. Ki ata melech Adon, echol hashalom. Shalom Bra'ah al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Bra'ah al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים
Before we take a moment for silent personal prayer, we think about our friends and neighbors, members of our community, members of our own family who are in need of a blessing of healing, healing of the body, the healing of the spirit. We ask God's blessing upon them. On this Shabbat, we are especially thinking about Judy Agron, Audrey Ronchik, Adam Beaumont, Osvaldo Barraza, Mindy Bloom, Shelley Plumclair, Elliot Citron, Kathy Duchess, Eliyahu Ben-Ru, Vane Miriam, Elka Rock, Susan Friedman, Rita Gold, Sharon Greenberg, Joseph Grunberg, Ed Johns, Mindy Elizabeth Jones, Susan Jones, Jack Lieb, Maya Bat-Devora, Joyce Ridenour, Mark Rockfeld, Shammai Ben Michael, Shaul Ben Moshe Verivka, Shoshana Devora Bat Chava, Barry Sugar, Nancy Simon, Mark Byron Singer, Rose Singer, Stuart Singer, Aryeh Tzvi Ben Sora, Kevin Webb. Misha Berach Avatenu Avraham Yitzhak veYaakov ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yavarech ve'yira Pei et Cholim Kodesh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Alehem L'Hachlimam L'Rapotam L'Hachazikam L'Hachiotam V'Yishlach B'mheira Refuah Shlema Refuat Nefesh U'Refuat Guf B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael Hashta B'Hagalav V'Zman Kariv V'Nomar. We say Amen. Take a moment for silent personal prayer.
page 180, at the bottom, a prayer for peace. May the one who makes peace make peace in the high heavens, make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all who inhabit the earth. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
Sometimes it seems as though good times pass faster than they should, and bad times pass way too slowly. But the reality is that time is the same, passes the exact same speed, whether it's good times or bad times. Those good times and bad times are just the ups and downs of the roller coaster of life. On Shabbat, Chol Moed Sukkot, the Shabbat during the holiday of Sukkot, the tradition is to read the book of Kohelet, of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is such a challenging book. Ecclesiastes comes in the wisdom literature in the third part of the Bible, and it is a very challenging book that actually the Talmud records. It's so challenging that the Talmud records a discussion about excluding it from the biblical canon in the first place. And the reason that the people who wanted to exclude it, the reason that they gave is because that it is full of contradictions. You have Ecclesiastes both praising knowledge and then denigrating it as just being futile. It speaks about gaining great power and then dashes us to the depths of despair. One that I know you're all, or at least half of you, are going to be really thrilled about. Men are told to rejoice with the woman that they love, and then at the same time, they're told that women are more bitter than death. I didn't say that, I'm just reporting. I think that these contradictions and the teaching that life is fragile, right? What's the verse that everybody knows from Ecclesiastes? To everything there is a season, okay, a time to live and a time to die. That fragility is the exact reason why we read it on the holiday of Sukkot. Dwelling in the Sukkah, we are reminded and really recognize those messages of the ups and downs and the potential that we could be blown with just a gentle wind out. For many, Ecclesiastes is a really depressing book. Most of the time, I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's very life-affirming and very realistic. There's a belief that it was King David who wrote Ecclesiastes. You've got King Solomon. You've got King David who is writing the Psalms, and then you have King Solomon who writes Ecclesiastes. And there's a parable in which King Solomon realizes some of the lessons that are mirrored in the book of Ecclesiastes. So here's the parable, here's the story. Okay? One day, King Solomon decides to humble Benaiah. Benaiah ben Jehoiada is his most trusted minister. And he says, Benaiah, there is a certain ring, like a ring that you wear on your finger, that I want you to bring to me. I wish to wear it for Sukkot, which gives you 6 months to find it. Benaiah wants to please his king, and he says, if it exists anywhere in the world, your majesty, I will find it and I will bring it to you. But what makes the ring so special? It has magic powers, says the king. If a happy man looks at it, he becomes sad. And if a sad person looks at it, they become happy. Now, Solomon knew that no such ring existed in the world, but he wished to give his minister just a little bit of humility. So spring passes, and then summer, and still Benaiah has no idea where to find the ring. And on the night before Sukkot, he decides, just in desperation, that he's going to take a walk in one of the poorest quarters in Jerusalem. And he passes by a merchant who has set out his day's wares on a shabby little carpet. By chance, do you happen to know or heard about a magic ring that makes a happy wearer forget his joy and a broken-hearted wearer forget his sorrows? And he watches the old man take a plain gold band off of his carpet and engrave something into it. When Benaiah reads the words, his face breaks out into this just incredibly big smile. So that night, the entire city welcomes the holiday of Sukkot with great festivity, as it used to. Well, my friend, says King Solomon, have you found what I sent you after? And all the ministers are laughing, and Solomon himself is like snickering because he knows this isn't going to happen. Okay? And to everyone's surprise, Benaiah holds out the ring and declares, here it is, your majesty. And as soon as King Solomon read the inscription, the smile vanished from his face. Of course, you're all waiting for me to tell you what's in the ring, right? So the jeweler had written just 3 letters, okay? A gimel, a zayin, and a yud. A Gimel, a Zion, and the Yud. A Gimel, a Zion, and a Yud begins the words Gam Ze Yavor. In Hebrew, this too shall pass. Indeed, if a happy man reads Gam Ze Yavor, this too will pass, he becomes sad. And if a sad man reads Gam Ze Yavor, this too shall pass, he becomes happy. And at that moment, King Solomon realized all of his wisdom and his fabulous wealth and tremendous power were but fleeting things. For one day, he would be nothing but dust. Sukkot reminds us that the wind can blow away all that we have. We know that. We know that all too well here in South Florida. At the same time, right, it can also blow in a new and good fortune. So we hope, as we are coming to the conclusion of Sukkot, Gam Ze Yavor, that anything that bad happened, that is happening, or you're going through, that this too shall pass, and that you'll recognize that all of the things that you have are really just fleeting, and you might as well give them away while you can and enjoy the power and the joy of giving them away, because they too will pass. We are going to we're going to invite the congregation to rise, page 586 for Aleinu.
The microphone is fine. Something happened, the channel is changed so the frequency doesn't connect to the receiver. That's what happens. Things happen. Too technical.
We punt.
Gam Ze Yavor.
Gam Ze Yavor. The light of light is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. We do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. In the Shabbat, we remember those who have died over the past 30 days. Barbara Levy-Feldman, Jerry Levitt, Joanne Crown, Sammy Kravorik. Those whose yortzites, the anniversary of their passing, we have commemorated this past week. Alvin S. Beaumont, Mildred Epstein, Ethel Phoebus, Gertrude Hines Groten, Sophia Grotenstein, Max R. Israelson, Julius Jones, Carl Lipton, Jonathan Ian Piken, Jacob E. Rappel, Cookie Rothenberg, Elsie Schiffman, Molly Schwab, Frida Siegel, Florence Seskin, Rebecca Schulkes, Harriet Silverstein, Werner Wolf, and those who are remembered on our permanent memorial plaques here in the sanctuary walls who are listed below. We join together for Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. We invite the congregation to please rise, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kari v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shemei rabbah mavarach le'alam ulomei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudashah, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da miran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. O seh shalom b'romav, huya seh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. Amen. May be seated. Once again, I want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom and a Chag Sameach, a happy holiday. I want to say thank you to Peter and Star Stein and to Stuart Israelson for sponsoring our Shabbat services this Shabbat. Say thank you to Gail Slatko, a member of our Board of Trustees who is serving as our greeter this evening. I want to welcome a couple of FIU students who, their professor said you have to show up at some religious service. So, yeah, they're like not even my first. You stick around for a lot of years, you see a lot of FIU students who get the same assignment over and over. So welcome, we're glad to have you. Right after services, I'm going to take a few minutes just to give them an orientation. So if you want an orientation, you can come and join us. A reminder that as the west coast of Florida is still digging themselves out, and we as a Jewish community have a responsibility to help our neighbors. So we encourage you to give, to donate. We are doing our donations through Greater Miami Jewish Federation. So if you would like to make a donation, you can go to jewishmiami.org, and you will see right there the ability to donate to those affected by Hurricane Ian. Just so that you know, Greater Miami Jewish Federation is absorbing all of the costs, all the administrative costs. So whatever money you give, 100% of that goes to those affected. We have made it almost all the way through our High Holy Day season. We will wrap it up on Sunday night and Monday. with Simchat Torah. If you have never been here for Simchat Torah, this is a really wonderful opportunity for us to celebrate the conclusion of one cycle of another cycle of our Torah reading. We end Deuteronomy and immediately begin Genesis. And we will do that on Sunday night at 5:30. Come out onto the field right by the Israelson Pavilion. If you've never been here, to help us unroll a Torah scroll all the way around in a big circle. We need your help to do that. And then join us for a little Southern barbecue afterwards. Not a bad evening. Please come and join us. Just a reminder, as Cantor said, next Friday, I am even more excited than I was to have our Argentinian style Shabbat. So come join us. There will be some food afterwards. No charge for all of you who are Temple Sinai partners. If you're not a Temple Sinai partner, we'll ask that you donate $18, but not a bad deal. And then put it in your calendar on December 4th, our own Cantor Norman is going to be giving a concert for celebrating his 10th anniversary here at Temple Sinai, and we're excited about that. Let's see, what else? My goodness. Yeah. Well, it's not totally out of order. We've got Cantor's stuff all on one slide. Not next week. Next weekend is Argentinian Shabbat. The week after, Friday night, October 28th, we have, as Breast Cancer Awareness Month comes towards its end, we will have a pink Shabbat, and we encourage you, if you have been affected by breast cancer, we invite you to come and join us. We will invite you, if you are going through breast cancer now, if you are a survivor of breast cancer, if you have had a loved one who has gone through breast cancer, if you have had a loved one who was taken by breast cancer, we will invite you to come and light one of our little mini pink candles. So we hope that you will join us as we raise awareness of breast cancer, something that affects us in the Jewish community at a higher rate than the wider population. So we hope you will do that. I think we are concluding. All right. Well, let's see here. All right. We got no surprise. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. On page 664, I mentioned Ecclesiastes earlier. We are singing Turn, Turn, Turn. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven, page 664, right out of Ecclesiastes.
To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. A time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to love, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, time to reign, a time to soon, a time of love, a time of hate, a time for peace, I swear is not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven.
We invite the congregation to rise for Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu b'shabbat kodesho yaba'u v'ratzon hinchilanu זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום התחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת אותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן.
We must be getting to the end of the high holiday season. We're back to regular shaped challahs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Chag sameach.